Is there a foolproof diet that will let you eat as much as you want and eat whatever you want and still lose weight? I think there is, and I'm about to tell you all about it. So the answer to the question is alternate day fasting. You know, if you've been listening to me for any amount of time, you know I'm big on all sorts of different fasting. I've used fasting many times in my life, and anytime I feel like I really need to dig and get that little extra bit of fat loss, I always turn to fasting. It's always my go-to. Now, alternate day fasting is exactly what it sounds like. It's a period where you alternate between a day of fasting and a day of eating. And this may sound, ridiculous, but you don't have to actually do it. Like, you don't have to say, okay, I'm going to wake up Tuesday morning and I'm going to go all day and night and go to bed Tuesday night without eating. You don't have to do it that way. You just have to not eat. You have to fast for 24 hours and then eat for 24 hours. It doesn't matter how you break that up. And I'll get into that in more detail a little bit later. But let's talk about, what are the benefits of alternate day fasting? Well, in 2013, there was a study done where they took 32 overweight subjects and they had 16 of them do alternate day fasting for 12 weeks. And 16 of them were in a control group for 12 weeks. And they found over the span of those 12 weeks that not only did the alternate day fasting group lose significantly more weight and body fat, but their cardiovascular markers improved as well. Cholesterol, blood pressure, things of that nature got better as well. So not only did they lose more weight and more body fat, but they got healthier. The other benefit to this is, of course, what I already mentioned, where you don't really have to think about what you eat. In this study, the alternate day fasting group was told on their non-fasting days, they were given no restrictions. Eat, drink whatever you want as much as you want. They were not given any dietary restrictions, no caloric restrictions, nothing. They were allowed to eat, drink whatever they wanted in any quantities they wanted, and they still lost weight. And another benefit here, although this is not the way I do it, but they were also allowed to eat 25% of their daily maintenance calories on their fasting days. So even though they were fasting for 24 hours, they were still able to eat a little bit, which technically isn't fasting, but that's how they did it in the study. Now, I don't recommend that. I do sometimes, if I'm really dying or really hurting, just starving, I will give myself a little 200-300 calorie snack to help get me through it. But in a perfect world, I'd like to go 24 straight hours without eating and then go into 24 hours of eating whatever I feel like and not worrying about it. So we know the benefits, we know it works, but why? Why does it work? Why does this style of dieting work? Well, think about it. When it comes to calories in versus calories out, which as we know is the only scientifically proven way to lose weight, calories in versus calories out, it doesn't really matter. The time frame is not vital. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be in a caloric deficit every single day. So let's say over the course of a week, you're in a 3,000 calorie deficit, but you get there by being in a 1,000 calorie deficit 3 days of the week, and the other 4 days you eat at maintenance, you're still in a deficit. You should still lose, long term, you still will lose weight, assuming you're in that deficit. So the time frame of the deficit is not as important as being in the deficit. So if we look at alternate day fasting, well, what happens? You go through a 24-hour period of not eating. So let's say your maintenance calories are 2,000, right? You need 2,000 calories to maintain the weight you're at now, to stay where you're at now. So you can assume that if you've been at the weight you're at now for a considerable amount of time, then you probably eat around 2,000 calories a day on average. Some days higher, some days lower, but on average you eat around 2,000 calories. So now you go into this 2,000 calorie deficit, right? And then you get to your eating period. So you're already at a 2,000 calorie deficit. So that means just to get back to maintenance, you'd have to eat 4,000 calories or double the calories of what you normally eat over that 24 hours, which you have to try to do that, right? If you're used to eating around 2,000 calories, eating 4,000 calories is going to seem like a lot. And for those of you, for men, for larger men who need 3,000 calories or more for maintenance, it's almost impossible to make it up. So you're at such a deficit during these fasts that you can't ever make it up. And if you think about it, all right, you're at the 2,000 calorie deficit, right? Now you eat, let's say you eat 3,000 calories over the next 24 hours because you're like, you know what, screw it, I'm going crazy. I'm really going to try hard. Let's say you eat 3,500 calories. You're still at a 500 calorie deficit. Now you go into the fast. Now you're, instead of a 2,000 calorie deficit, you're at a 2,500 calorie deficit. The 2,000 from the fast plus the 500 that you never made up. So now you would need 4,500 calories to hit maintenance. And so again, if you eat 3,500, now you're at a 1,000 calorie deficit, and you can see how this adds up, and you really never get out of a deficit, right? It's very difficult to get out of a deficit when you're doing this. So this is why it works. It's been proven to work over the study. And again, it's foolproof. You literally would have to make a conscious effort, say, I'm going to out eat the fast. That's the only way you could really fail on this. So now let's talk about how to do it, or how I do it, and how I suggest you do it, but you can really make this work any way you want. So for me, I want to have my weekends, I don't want to have to think about it over the weekend, right? I want to, Friday night to Sunday night, I want to be able to do whatever I want. So I start Sunday night around 7 p.m. Now, it's not always 7 p.m. Sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it's later. It just depends on how that Sunday goes. But I generally stop eating around Sunday night at 7 p.m. Then I will fast from Sunday night at 7 p.m. until Monday night at 7 p.m. At that point, I will break the fast, and I will eat whatever I want from Monday at 7 p.m. until Tuesday at 7 p.m. Start fasting again all through Wednesday. Break the fast Wednesday night at 7. Eat whatever I want all day Thursday until 7 p.m. Fast until Friday at 7, and this is the last time I break the fast. Then I break the fast and I eat whatever I want all the way through the weekend until Sunday at 7, and I repeat that. So I have 3 24-hour fasts during the week, 4 24-hour eating windows. So again, for someone like me who probably needs about, 3,000 calories to maintain where I'm at, maybe a little less, somewhere around there, I'm at a 12,000 calorie deficit. That means I would have, on those 4 days that I am eating, I'd have to not only eat my normal 3,000 calories, but another extra, 3,000 calories just to make up for the deficit there. Oh, sorry, 9,000, so it'd be 3,000. But you get the point. I'd have to eat a lot of extra calories to make up for the deficit there, right? So that's how I do it. Now, you can do it any way you want. I do not highly do not recommend doing 2 fasting days in a row. That would be a 48-hour fast. Now, there was a study that did a 36-hour fast, and they also got incredible results. But 48 hours, you could do it, but I don't recommend it. I recommend you make sure your days are broken up so you have at least a day of eating. You do a day of fasting, a day of eating, day of fasting, day of eating, day of fasting. And you don't have to do the 2 days of eating in a row either. You could just literally alternate day to day, and you'll get even better results. So now let's talk about why have I decided to do this again. There's a couple reasons. Number one, it's a personal challenge. I like to find ways to challenge myself. I like to find ways to take myself out of my comfort zone. I'm not trying to lose a significant amount of weight. I'm not trying to get, shredded for any kind of competition or anything like that. It's just, for me, it's a personal challenge. As of now, I'm thinking I'm going to do it for about 30 days. I may do it longer. We'll see when I get there. But for right now, the plan is 30 days. The other reason I'm doing it is to help you guys, to help you kind of live vicariously through somebody who's doing it, so you can see, like, what are the struggles, what are the complications, what's good about it, what's bad about it, so you can just decide for yourself, maybe this is something you'd like to try. And the third reason is one of my clients decided to try to do it, so I figured I'd give him some support, and I'll do it along with him. So we both started today. It's Monday. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not going to eat till 7:15 tonight, so I'm about 4 hours left in my fast. So I'm at about the 18-hour mark right now. I feel okay, but again, it's only day one. As I go through this process, I'm going to keep you updated. I'm going to let you know the truth, the real truth. If I mess up, I'm going to let you know the struggles. You're gonna get to see it all. So, in conclusion, this is by far and away my favorite way to diet, because there's no thought involved. You just have to think about, when are you starting the fast, when are you stopping the fast, and that's literally it. You don't have to count calories, you don't have to pay attention to what you eat, you don't have to do anything like that. You just eat whatever you want. Just make sure you get through the fast. Now, of course, the downside is you've got to get through that 24-hour fast. it's a struggle. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there are days where you don't want to do it. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 12 o'clock and you still have 6-7 hours to go and you just don't know how you're gonna make it. So I'll give you some tips throughout the 30 days here as I go through it, and as I experience things, I'll give you some tips. But if this is something you want to try, leave a comment, let me know. I'd love to help you out. Send me a DM, send me a message. I'd love to help you get through this. I'd love to help you out with this. Maybe others of you will take up the challenge. 30 days of alternate day fasting. See if you can't change your body drastically over the next 30 days without giving up any of the foods you like, because you know how I feel. Life is too short for that. Eat what you like. Do the things you enjoy. But do it healthily and stay fit. So anyways, I hope you found this useful. I hope you found this informative. If you did, leave a comment below. Again, if you're going to try it, leave a comment below. Let me know. If you need help, send me a DM. 30 days, at least, alternate day fasting, starting today. Let's do it.